Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to the official Around the Sun music video live streamed premiere. I'm so excited that you are here to join me for the showing of this video that means so much to me, from a song that means so much to me. I'm going to start this evening by just sharing with you and reminding you all what my vision is, why I do what I do, why I love what I do. My name is Kimayo. I am a professional musician, and I am seeking to cultivate connection, solidarity, and hope with all that I do. I'm so excited that you're here for this fun event this evening. The song is out and live and streaming on all platforms for you to enjoy. When I was trying to think about how to promote this song and share it with everyone out there, in the midst of a shutdown, it was really hard to think of creative ways to share my music. And from somebody else doing it first, I learned of a creative way artists were taking the notion of a house concert and transitioning it to be a virtual model. So since January, I have been touring across the country through virtual concerts. So someone would decide to host, they would invite their friends and family, and I would perform a private concert on in a private video chat for everyone that they invited. And those have been amazing. We have done, for this tour, for the Around the Sun tour, we have done, I believe, we've done 11 concerts, and we have reached at least 15 states across the country, and we've also reached 2 provinces in Canada, which is amazing. So one thing I have been doing is filling out this lovely map here whenever I do a house concert to find out where I've been playing. So I would love if you can write in the comments if you feel comfortable sharing what state you're from or where you're streaming in, watching this evening, just so I know who else I've reached with this song since starting the tour. Last August of 2020, we were in the middle of a crazy pandemic time, and I had spent the summer working on my single Wildflower, which came out August 18th. And to do that, I worked with the Greenhouse Recording Studio. I worked with an amazing producer, Brad Myrick, and I did a lot of work with a woman named Sophia, and really honed in on a new sound for me, a transition, an evolution of who I am as an artist, from a singer-songwriter to a folk pop artist. So Wildflower is a very full production song. After that release, I was trying to think about what would make the most sense as an artist for something to present to my listeners. And a song that kept resonating and churning inside of me, I had written just this past summer, Around the Sun. And so I began talking with my producer. There was a new record label that was created this past summer, so I was communicating with them, Unlabel Records. We decided to do a contract and create this song using the same producer that I had before, Brad Myrick, and recording again at the Greenhouse Recording Studio. So Brad and I figured out ways to virtually meet and connect, and via email and different forms of communication, do all of the pre-production on this song, and spent from about October of 2020 until about the end of January, between the start of those conversations to the end. And what was released yesterday was the final product. I'd love to share with you the heart of this song, the meaning of this song, as well as this music video. And then I am delighted to show you this piece of very personal, very important, and very intimate art that I would love to share with you. This song was written, as I said, in June of 2020, and it was around Father's Day. And my dad was diagnosed with lung cancer when I was 8. He passed away when I was 15. And I've written songs about him in the past. I wrote a couple in high school and a couple when I was in my college years. And those songs were important and powerful, but they really just focused on the pain and hurt side of that experience, of that loss. And this summer, something shifted, something changed for me. 2020 marked the year in my life that I will have, moving forward, lived more lives without my dad being part of my life in comparison to the number of years that he was able to be here. And that felt really profound because in the process of reflecting and thinking about what that meant, I found myself experiencing gratitude and appreciation and beauty almost in who I'd become as a result of what I had been through. I became so grateful for the experiences I did get to have with my dad and share with my dad, and how they helped me to develop as a person and have compassion in ways that I may not otherwise, as well as empathy. So when I took this song and I had written it and brought it to my producer this past fall, it was really important for me to make sure that what the final product was embodied both that pain, that hurt, that gut-wrenching loss, that emptiness, that guttural depth that you feel when you lose someone so significant to you and so profound in your life. So I needed that. I didn't want to lose, however, that appreciation, that gratitude, that thankfulness, that joy that I found as I've healed and moved through my grief. And so that was really a lot of the imagery that I gave to my producer. There were certain parts of the song that I would give him imagery or paint pictures for him and say, this is what I'm, not literal pictures, but I would create imagery for him to then transport into something audible versus visual. And he did a fabulous job doing it. This song would not be what it is without him, so I'm so grateful for that. I'm so grateful for Sam MacArthur, who was the engineer on this project. He did the recording and he also did the mixing. So without those two people and of course my dad, this song would not have been possible. Not to mention Unlabel even giving me the capacity and the bandwidth to be able to create this really profound and personal product, song, creation for all of you. So I have this song. We worked on pre-production in the fall. We get into January, we're in the studio, we did all the vocal recordings and went to the mixing. Then we got it mastered by Kim Rosen, and we get this final product, and I already know exactly what I want to do with it visually. So for this music video, I had the very cathartic experience of taking old home video footage and converting it from film and tape to digital. So this music video is a large portion of it is old home videos, which is kind of comical. And then it was also really important, I tend to be more on the poetic side, and the camera that was used to record a lot of this footage that I actually recorded when I was younger still worked. And so I decided that for this film it would be, it felt really profound and full circle to have the footage recorded on the same video camera. So all of the footage that you see was recorded on tape and then converted to digital. So it's definitely got a home video feel to it. I want to make a shout out to my niece for recording all of the current video footage in the very cold days this past February, I think is when we recorded. So without further ado, I would love to share this film with you. After it plays, I will be back here, so I would love for you to type any questions or comments underneath the video in the little chats that are available to you. I would love to hear from you, your thoughts, and either something significant about the song or anything about music as well is totally on the table for conversation. So I would love for you to stick around for a short Q&A after. All right. I'm so excited. At this moment in time, I am proud, overjoyed, and so grateful to share with each of you the official Around the Sun music video.
There are nights I wonder, would you be proud of who I am? In times I wonder if you and I'd be friends. Still my heart, it wonders why it had to be this way. In the dark I wonder who I'd be if you were here, in parts that wonder how that time has shaped my years. I'll never know, but I've been strumming your nylon string to keep you close. You used to meet me in my dreams, now you don't visit anymore. Have you forgotten about me, or do you think I just don't need you anymore? A piece of me was ripped straight from my chest the day you left. Did you take it from me so you wouldn't forget? Ooh, how my love feels. Ooh, how my love feels. Thank you for teaching me what life means to chase my dreams, how to appreciate the everyday to pave my way. Not sure you'd recognize the woman I've grown to be, but I think you'd like the fire you see behind these olive eyes. A piece of me was ripped straight from my chest the day you left. I think you took it from me so you wouldn't forget. Ooh, how my love feels. Ooh, how my love feels. I wish you were real again. Maybe all of this is just pretend, but the world, it keeps spinning around the sun. Ooh, around the sun. Ooh, around the sun. There are nights I wonder, would you be proud of who I am? In times I wonder if you and I'd be friends. Still my heart, it wonders why it had to be this way.
Welcome back. Thank you all for watching that, for being here, for helping me to celebrate, I guess. And thanks, Mom. Mom, so exciting. I appreciate that. I'm so glad that you made it. Oh, thank you, Elizabeth. Oh, well, you were saying that's Sam. Well, thank you to Sam and Elizabeth. Yes, I agree with that. So as you can see, there's going to be comments and opportunity to connect and share as a Q&A. I would have loved to do this actually in person, and maybe at some point soon, or maybe with my next release, whenever that is, or whatever that is, I have that opportunity. But right now is an opportunity for me to connect with you on a personal level. So I would love for you to write comments in to let me know what you thought, which clips you want to know about, if there were certain snippets that you were curious what was happening in. I'd love to share those things with you. And so I have my phone here and I'm ready to look. So I'm going to scroll for a second and I'll let you know. I'll say what I read as it's going. Thank you, Chris, for telling me that this was awesome. I'm so glad you're here, Mandy and Flynn. Lorna, that was very sweet. All right, I'm giving it 1 second. Oh, my nephew Michael says hi. Hi, Michael. So there's a handful of you that are commenting. I would love questions, so please send those along if you have anything. John is sobbing, and I know why. Beautiful journey. So that's actually really funny. So John, he's laughing. He's behind the camera, and he's the one taking care of the video and everything, so that I can properly be present with you all for this experience. And so somebody commented that John was probably crying, and yes, he was crying because he's just got a big heart and he's all sentimental. Hi Ivana, hi Sherry, hi Steven, hi Heather, hi Jen, hi Nick. We've got people from Colorado in here. I think we've got people from Florida tuning in. We've got Arizona in the books. That's exciting. So yeah, again, if you have any questions, I'd love to hear them. No pressure, but I'm putting pressure on you because I would love to be able to answer some questions. It's been fascinating to spend so long working on a project and finally releasing it in such a snippet. This release is the amount of work that has been put into it in the last 6 to 7 months has been quite extensive, and so for it to all culminate to this moment feels really profound. I'm reading just a couple of comments. Thank you, Darla. Darla says it's okay, John. She's crying too. Sorry. So my friend Heather says, "How are you?" So I guess I can answer that. We're coming to a light at the end of a very long tunnel with this crazy past year. Speaking of going around the sun. It has been bumpy up and down for me. There's been moments that were filled with lots of joy, for instance, the release of Wildflower, and then there were some really hard moments of navigating isolation and navigating not being able to play out and perform and have income. So there's been a lot of ups and downs. Currently, I feel great. I'm so blessed to be here right now. I'm so grateful to everyone watching. And we've got questions coming in now. Thank you guys. So yes, I guess the answer to your question is currently I'm doing great. Nick asks, what was your dad doing at the table in the video? It looked like a craft of some kind. Great question. John just asked me that today, actually. My dad was, one of his hobbies was photography, and so he was cutting a foam board for a frame for a photograph that he had taken and printed. I've got one here, Lance. Is this a song that you could see doing live? It's so tied to the visual, so would it have the same impact? That's a great question. I have been doing it live for this entire tour, actually, with just me and a guitar. And it's obviously a very different experience without the video. What I will say is because it's just me and my guitar, I think there is a rawness that still comes through. So as far as the emotion behind the song, I think that still translates. And who knows, maybe in the future I'll be having a band to do a full production. So that'll definitely be something for the audience to watch and enjoy. In this one. Is it hard for you mentally and emotionally to write this song about your father? Greer. I don't know who Greer is, but thank you for asking the question. Is it hard for you mentally and emotionally to write? So to write the song, it's emotional. I wouldn't say hard is the right word. One things I'm grateful for about writing music is it allows me to be a little bit separated from the topic that I'm writing about or the emotions that I'm writing about. So I'm still really very much so present with them, but they're a little bit removed, so they feel less overwhelming. I would say it's more emotionally challenging and I guess that's the best word. Like it's more overwhelming or emotionally charged to watch things or to listen to things for me, specifically with this song. So when I listen to it, or if I watch the music video, I can get I feel a little bit more in touch with the emotions in that sense.
Did your father?
What did you say, John?
Did your father play the guitar?
Did my dad play the guitar? Oh, I love that question.
Did he know you to be musical?
Hi, Aunt Beth. Hi, Uncle Bobby. So we used to you didn't ask about me playing guitar, you asked about my dad. My dad wanted to play guitar. I told this story the other day. One of my brothers is very talented at guitar. He majored in it in school, and when he was in high school he was in a band, and my recollection of the story, maybe it's not this way, but this is my recollection, was my dad wanted to learn guitar because my brother was playing and he wanted to either have something to do with him or he was just inspired by it. I'm not totally sure the entire shift there. So he bought a guitar. Unfortunately, because of the chemo and the cancer, his fingers didn't really work well on a guitar. So what is pretty around the sun is that, or full circle, is that this song actually was written on that guitar, which my dad never learned to play. And so there's sort of this beautiful poetic, I said I like poetry, this poetic tone for me actually coming full circle from when he was still alive to this song specifically with this guitar. All right. Beautiful Kim, I share the same loss. Oh, I'm so sorry. So Seymour, the music and lyrics were beautiful. Thank you so much. Peter, welcome from Boston. I don't have a question, but the video fits the song perfectly, and I love the fact that you could even use the same camera. I liked that too. I don't know if I missed any questions on here.
What's the story behind the name Kimayo?
Did somebody ask that?
Yep.
The story behind the name Kimayo. So it's not my real name, it's my stage name, and there are other musicians that have my real name already, and so I was trying to not be a duplicate or a copycat, and so I actually had a friend in college that used to call me that, and then I was talking with my vocal coach a couple years ago before I went full-time in music, and he came up with that name as well separately, and so then I started mulling over it, and it stuck, and it's sort of a mashup of my actual name. So that's the story behind the song. I think I should come up with somebody told me I should come up with a meaning behind the word of the name, so I'm still working on that, but maybe I will one day. Any other questions?
Where were you when you wrote this?
Where was I when I wrote this? Where was I? That's a great question. I believe this is fun too, or poetic. I believe that I was actually at my childhood home. So with COVID, I've been staying back and forth between New Hampshire and Massachusetts in 2 specific locations in a very small group of people, just to clarify. So when I was in Massachusetts, I was at my mom's house and staying in my childhood bedroom, and that was where I was when I wrote this song. So not only is there a lot of depth and emotion around the guitar itself, but even where I wrote the song feels pretty profound. So thanks for that question. I didn't even think about that. Alright, I'll probably do like 2 more. I'm still wanting a signature from Kimayo. Oh. Thanks, Sherry. Thanks, Sherry. Hi, Peter. So Peter, I hope you don't mind me saying this, but Peter is watching right now, and he actually did all of the percussion on this song, which was really fun to have him do, because he, again, I gave Brad an idea imagery-wise what I wanted and a little bit of detail on things, and we sent it over to Peter. He sent us a million tracks to use, and then we had the privilege of being able to puzzle piece together what fit for this song. So hi, Peter, and I'm so thankful that you're here, and I'm glad you were able to hear the final product. What's coming next, and is it an album? I'm not going to give too much away, but I do, I'll give you a little foreshadow. I guess they call these Easter eggs, the young kids these days. I had Wildflower come out at the end of the summer, and as I said at the very beginning of this live stream, my vision, my heart is to cultivate connection, solidarity, and hope. So Wildflower felt very much so like a song of hope and inspiration, and this song very clearly tugs at that experience of solidarity, especially after the year that we've been through going around the sun. And so that leaves one more. So connection. What does connection look like? What does it mean to create something that embodies that experience with others? So that's something I'm pondering. I have a lot of music in the folder, and that I'm waiting to. When there's more consistency in work, and I have the ability to really get down to larger projects, so maybe that's an Easter egg too. And there's lots of music planned for the future. I guess that's the most succinct way of answering. Thank you, Elizabeth. I feel like it's pretty special as well. When are you touring out west? Well, again, we're in the middle of just coming out of a pandemic, I suppose. So I can't really give you a specific answer, but with bigger projects in the works, there will definitely be also bigger touring experiences planned. So I would love to go out west sometime in 2022. It will probably not be in 21. We're still getting out of the woods here. So I will tentatively say summer of 2022 or fall of 2022. Who knows? Someone said, you mean like Springfield, Mass? No, I mean across the country. Hi Kim, I'm so glad you tuned in. Hi Jody. Alright, do we have one more question? I would love just one more question, and then we'll call this a wrap.
Play at Red Rocks.
Play at Red Rocks. That is on, okay. Yes. Yes. Red Rocks is like top place. Well, I won't say. There's like a few that are right near the top that I would love to play, and Red Rocks is definitely there. Alright. Anyone else? Oh, hi Ashley. Thank you so much. Alright, well, I suppose that maybe people don't have another question. Oh, Michael would like to know, that's my nephew, how long it took you to write the song. This one was really fast. So typically when a song is, if there's a lot of emotion behind a song, once I have the inspiration or that, like, it's like this tug, it's kind of this, I need to sit down and I need to write. It's this urge, this pull to sit down and actually write. I sat down and it probably took me maybe an hour to get the whole thing done, start from finish. And then of course I replayed it and played it and played it and played it and polished it and worked on the lyrics and meshed back and forth to make sure that it was the full right fit by the time it was done. And then from there it still evolves, obviously, the pre-production experience with my producer. We didn't change any of the lyrics, but we moved a couple of things around structurally. So, but to sit down and write something this personal and this emotionally charged, it actually surprisingly, maybe not surprisingly, but it came pretty quickly. Oh, somebody just posted one. Yep, Sincere, that is the old video. Who was filming then? Oh, great question. My mom's cousins. Oh, I just turned on the volume on this. Hold on. My mom's cousins had a video camera that they used, and whenever we all got together as family. So there's a lot of footage that we didn't see from one specific videotape that we have. So Janice and Dan were the videographers. There are a couple clips, not in that film obviously, but there were a couple clips that my dad had filmed. And then all of the clips of my dad, not from the when I was a baby, I actually filmed all of those. So that also felt really profound to be filming things inside the house and then around the house with the same camera, when all the shots of my dad from when I was growing up, I had actually filmed as well. So many things. That was a great question to ask. What tips do you have for people wanting to go into music? And then also, have you learned, you guys are good, have you learned anything new in the last year? Tips for musicians or people that want to start music, practice. I still work on that. And choose the instrument that I guess most moves you. I played trumpet when I was in middle and high school, and I loved that. It was really fun because it matched my personality. And then I switched to guitar, and that felt more of my jam. When I was much younger, I attempted to learn piano, but it was never really what I was into. So I guess find an instrument that really moves you, and even if that's singing, that's still an instrument. And I would practice, and I would also become familiar with music, listen to music, get really honed in on the different sounds that you hear. I don't know if that's actually good advice, but that would be something that I wish I had done more of when I was younger, was practice and listen to music for the purpose of learning from the singers and the arrangers and the production. So I guess that's my my answer to your question. And then Brian, you asked, have you learned anything new this year? So much. I've learned so much. The biggest takeaway this last year is the power of balance, I would say. I was going real hard with gigs from the release of Phoenix up until COVID hit, and then I lost all my gigs. And I crashed. And I think I crashed partly because there was a pandemic and isolation and losing all of the things that I had planned. I also think I crashed because my body was just tired. With Wildflower, I went really hard for the production and the planning of it for the entire summer. The release came out, and I just crashed emotionally for like 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, maybe more. I don't remember. I crashed. And then with this song, I was super conscientious of the balance that I needed to find to make sure that I could sustain not just this release, but the plans that I have moving forward without hitting burnout and being more compassionate with myself. So I'd say balance, and part of that had to do with learning some compassion and grace for myself when I'm working on projects. All right. Makes sense. Good writers read, good speakers sing. Thanks, Heather. All right, I think that was actually last question. I'm so grateful that you are all here. Thank you for tuning in on Facebook. Thank you for tuning in on YouTube. Thank you to the Greenhouse Recording Studio for creating the space for me to record this song. Thank you to Unlabeled Records for enabling me and wanting to sign with me for this project. Thank you to my amazing producer, Brad Myrick, for doing all of the pre-production work on this, the post-production, doing a little bit of mixing there, and then of course the actual arranging and production when we were in the studio. So huge thank you to him, to Joey Pyrog, who plays the upright bass, to Peter Buck, who plays the percussion. Brad is playing on this song as well. He plays the keyboards and the mandolin and the guitars. And Kim Rosen and just everyone that's worked on this. It's been such a privilege to take something so personal and to share it with you all. So I appreciate you tuning in. The actual music video itself will be releasing, I believe, tomorrow, so stay tuned for posts on that. I would love for you to watch it again. And have a wonderful Friday night. Thank you for tuning in for the official live stream premiere of my Around the Sun music video. Have a great night.
There are nights I wonder, would you be proud of who I am? In times I wonder if you and I'd be friends. Still my heart, it wonders why it had to be this way.